Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. The double honors to the elder apostles, the bishops, and the elders of GMS who rules well, peace, and salutations to the elect. My name is Aina. The title of this video is Rise Up, Ye Women That Are at Ease. Right? This goes into Isaiah 32. Isaiah 32:9. Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you and make you bare, and grid sackcloth upon your loins. They shall lament for the teats and for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine. So, the daughters of Jerusalem, right, are they love food, right? They love the treats and the snacks and all of these different things that they're, I'm gonna just be real. Pretty much, daddy government for them has taken away. They haven't officially done it yet, but I mean, they'd be stupid not to, So daddy government has taken away their treats. I'm gonna grab this preset real quick, and they're crying about it. Just the fear of it even happening has them losing their mind. It hasn't happened yet, but just the fear of them knowing the food is about to stop, they're upset. Let me grab this. Hey, yeah, okay. Yeah, so tremble, Isaiah 32:11. Tremble, ye women that are at ease, be troubled, ye careless ones, strip you and make you bare, and grid the sackcloth upon your loins. They shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine. And the thing is, you about to be troubled in many different ways. You don't only get food from these different stores. You buy all your products that you need over there. Your makeup, your wigs, your hairs, all your personal items that you get is also inside these stores that are now restricting access. Even Walmart is saying that you can only buy things online now. Think about the lines that's going to cause, and then the chaos of because usually you know think about other Paul's Tar. Other Paul's Tar say he go in there, you get a few items and he out. People go there, they know what they want and they get out. But now you have everyone shopping online and have to wait in at the pickup curb and all of this. It's gonna be fucking chaotic. It's not gonna work, and that's their plan for it not to work. But anyway, it's gonna be real bad. Not only are you not gonna have any food, you won't have the things you need. It's not gonna be easily accessible, right? It says, they shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine. Upon the land of my people shall come up thorns and bearers, yeah, upon all the houses of joy in the joyful, joyous city. It says, because the palaces shall be forsaken, the multitude of the city shall be left, the forts and towers shall be for the dens forever, a joy of wild asses, a pasture of flocks. And ultimately, this goes also into the second Ezra 15 and 16, talking about the cities being troubled. These different items, and that's how they're not. I haven't seen a female yet complain about other things, right? They're only worried about the food right now, and that you can't get the stamps to buy the food and whatnot. But all hell is about to break loose for these women, the things they like. The scriptures talk about, and I'm gonna grab that too. I want to grab this scripture because we got Kevin Samuels also, in the title, and the prophets men of the Lord have been out here before the red and blue pills and the Kevin Samuels and all of that, right? But this is what they go back to. I believe I seen a brother scripture where he was saying maybe one woman was saying maybe the brothers on the corners were correct. Yeah, we were correct, right? Um, okay, let me the twinkling ornaments. Because a woman, this is what the women like, the twinkling ornament. The Most High said He's gonna take away the twinkling ornaments, right? Think ornaments. He was like, come on, let me see. Because I just got what's it, 25? Like 25 to 28 around this right here. All right. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it. I'm on Google. I know it's probably in this area somewhere. Search it up real quick. Take take away the tinkling ornaments. Okay, now this is the regular right here. The regular, which is all the Bible, right? They took the Bible destroyers successfully have taken the Apocrypha out of the Bible and convinced people that it was never part of the Bible, right? But we have receipts and proof. Elder Malcolm of GMS Chicago has Bibles with the actual Apocrypha in there, right? So the knowledge of that is here with the prophets, and we have brought it out. But anyway, these women, of course, look at the Lot's wife. Lot's wife turned back to the city. Why? Because the purses, the shoes, the makeups, the hairs, the different colors for the faces and the nails, and all the different stuff that women would like. We like our women to look good, and they like to look good and dress up like Barbie dolls and things like that. So the Most High said He's gonna take all of that shit because He know that's what they like, right? Just like He took our women from us. Basically, they're whores, they're harlots in the streets, right? And we don't like that about a woman, but the Most High did that because we like our women. So the Most High is taking away what from them? All the shit they like. This is Isaiah 3:18. It says, "In that day, the Lord Yahweh Bashmiel shall take away the bravery of their twinkling ornaments, ornaments about their feet and their decals and their round tires like the moon, the chains, the bracelet, the mufflers, the bonnets, and the ornaments of the legs and the headbands and the tablets and the earrings, the rings and nose jewels, the changeable suits. They love clothing, all the different clothes. They be doing try-ons and all of that. Look at this outfit, baby. Do I look fat in this? Whatever the case may be. They inside the mall, don't got no money, and trying on all the clothes, taking pictures, the changeable suits of apparel, the mantles, the wimples. Hey, the mall is kind of like they look getaway to almost like we in the kingdom in the castle. You just trying on different clothes. It says the changeable suits of apparel, and the mantles and the wimples and the crisping pans, the glasses, the fine linen, the hoods, the veils, so much stuff that these women like the Most High is going to take away, even their body. He goes to, it says, and it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink, and instead of the girdle a rent, and instead of a well set hair, baldness, and instead of a stomacher, a gritting of sackcloth and burning instead of beauty. So the woman is no longer that fair. I mean, and I can't wait to see how they look in the kingdom, because even now, some of our women, of course, they are right. But the Most High is going to take all these things away from these women, and that day is here, right? The time is now. Okay. So we got Kevin Samuel, which I'm gonna get the video. I'm gonna just play a few minutes of that. It says Ecclesiastes chapter 13, verse 23. When a rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue, and look what he saith, they extol it to the clouds. But if the poor man speak, they say, what fellow is this? And if he stumble, they will help to overthrow him. Right, and this is basically, the difference between the prophets, right, and other people in the world, because the prophets have been given a warning for a very long time, but usually people that are rich will get the credit, and that's okay because the angels are crediting us, right, to Yahweh Bashmiel Shai. And trust me, we are storing treasures up in heaven, and our value is through the roof, right, and soon that will be known to the world. All right, so there you go.
And when winter comes, it does not, and this is not just the winter. We are heading into what I'm going to call the long night. It's not going to just be 6 months. We're talking about a global reset for the world.
If you receive SNAP benefits or food stamp, you need to pay attention closely, because this is just breaking news coming out that starting November, you probably are not going to be receiving any benefit.
Well, it's official. Corporate America is cooked. You hear the news that Nestle is announcing a 5-figure layoff. We are talking about 16,000 employees.
Word on the street is Oracle is going to lay off about 10,000 people sometime in Q4, maybe December.
Basically, what women are hoping that single men who had no family, no children, and have been locked out of the sexual marketplace.
Exactly, and I'll say, free use, copyright. I'm not getting paid for this or anything. This is for educational purposes.
Because of this hypergamy will somehow come and save their lives.
River TV. What's up, guys? It's your girl Riva, and I'm back again with another video. So, if you guys are unaware, obviously we know that we are in the middle of a government shutdown. I had briefly touched on it in another conversation in which, we kind of explained, or we went through everything in regards to why the shutdown is happening, the anticipated length of the shutdown, and the reasoning behind it.
There's too many people that don't understand why the government is shut down right now, so I'm going to try to make this easy. A few months back, they passed something called the Big Beautiful Bill. The Big Beautiful Bill cut $1 trillion worth of Medicaid funding over the next 10 years, and they're saving that $1 trillion in a couple of different ways. First, they introduce work requirements for able-bodied citizens. This means if you can't prove that you're disabled, then you're required to work to receive Medicaid. You have to prove that you've either worked or volunteered or studied for a minimum of 80 hours a month. That's only 20 hours a week. Second, they made it to where you have to verify your qualification every 6 months. Before the Big Beautiful Bill, people could apply for Medicaid and then just remain on it. But now people are required to requalify every 6 months, proving that they put in that time at work or volunteering or studying. But if they'd rather just sit at home and be lazy rather than being a productive member of society while they're perfectly capable of being a productive member of society, then they'll lose their benefits. And that's how it saves the government money for healthcare to be used towards people that actually need it. So that's the first way that the Big Beautiful Bill is working towards saving $1 trillion over the next 10 years. The second way is a little more difficult to explain, and it involves the hospital, the state, and the federal government. But here's a summary of how it works. A patient goes to the hospital, receives their services, and then pays their bill. When the patient pays that bill, they're not only paying the bill, but they're also paying a tax. That tax goes to the state, and the state puts it in a Medicaid fund. Then the federal government matches whatever money was put in
First, now nearly
are approved for Medicaid. But in the Big Beautiful Bill, they reduced the amount of money that the federal government is willing to put in the state's funds. Since there's less money coming out of the funds because they've eliminated the people abusing the system, they shouldn't have to put as much into the funds. And since they don't have to put as much into the funds, they don't have to tax the American population as much.
Now, nearly a month in, only a couple weeks out, the shutdown started on October 1st. Now it has been announced through so many different channels that food stamp benefits, SNAP benefits, are going to be shut off coming November 1st.
If you receive SNAP benefits or food stamp, you need to pay attention closely because this is just breaking news coming out that starting November, you probably are not going to be receiving any benefits. So just in less than 2 weeks, food stamps will be discontinued unless the government shutdown that gets fixed. Unless the government is back open at this current rate, it looks like food stamp is not going to have enough money to be given out in November if the government is still shut down. So
obviously we know that, food stamps is given to a plethora, a variety of people, right? It affects, people who are on disability, people who are unable to work, people who are elderly.
Basically affects the other races too, and predominantly the Edomites, right? They're a bigger person that takes these benefits from the government. Look at the Israelis; they get billions of dollars in aid to from the government, and that's probably a part of the reasons why money is probably running out. They're sending billions of dollars over there for this war that Israel is losing, right? When they want to make Jake the face of it, and whatever they can do the fuck they want to do, because they're in control of the world right now. That's cool, but we gonna tell the truth, and basically they want chaos in the streets regardless, and what they always do is accuse the brown people, right, the Jakes, the Israelites, because they're the accuser of the brethren, right, and they hate us. So anything they do, they always make Jake the face of it.
People who are on unemployment, men and women alike, single fathers. It affects a plethora of other people.
Hey, I'm on EBT, bro. Hey, that's why. Hey, look, bro. Calm down, bro. I'm on EBT, smack. Look. Say my name, bro. That shit. I had to go up in that by my face with a ball.
What I really wanted to hone in on is the fact that the good, unfortunately, have to suffer for the bad. And what I mean by that is, there's so many conversations circulating currently in the literally specifically talked about something that he called the long dark night.
Winter is coming. Winter is coming, and when winter comes, it does not, and this is not just the winter.
It's crazy. This man, he's crazy. So this movie, they was worried about the winter too. This is I believe it's Game of Thrones. believe it's Game of Thrones, and then here they was talking about winter is coming too. You know, you had to prepare for it.
We are heading into what I'm going to call the long night. It's not going to just be 3 months. It's not going to just be 6 months. We're talking about a global reset for the world.
And that was pretty interesting. I know they took this guy out, and when I heard that part, maybe he was getting to some stuff he wasn't supposed to be spilling the beans on yet, or they learned a lesson from these different people, Aaron Russo, Nick Rockefeller, and things like that. When things happens or be said, before it's needed to. But the prophet's been saying things before it happened, right? Because that's what the word prophet means, and that's what we're going to continue to do, right? And we have already given warning about this, and now they're feeling it. This was posted 4 days ago, so obviously it's already here.
Not only did he talk about, a community in Japan that was literally withering off based off of the choices that they were making at that time.
I have been studying this for the better part of 2 years. Look at what's going on in South Korea and Japan. You think it's a joke? You think it's a game? There are villages in Japan where people are outnumbered by freaking dogs. I'm not kidding. Japan is dying. An aging population and a group of people who are not dating. They're not dating. They're not marrying. They're not getting together. You know what it's called? Hikomori.
Ironically enough, he also mentioned
That's what Esau got going right now. Hikomori.
that a grand portion of Black women were employed by the government.
The people who have not been working will be forced to go back to work because the children must be in school. The daycares that are left will be there. What are you going to do if you go and have a job and you've been downsized, you've been automated? How many people have been to a McDonald's recently? And you'll notice that most of the front register staff is gone. It's kiosks. The largest two employers in our community of Black women are federal government and retail. Retail is dead. We have 26.4 square feet of retail space for every American. The next largest developed country has 6. We have 6 times too many retail spaces. This is why you're seeing dying malls across the country. And what's going on? Because so many women are not being told to think about their long term. This is coming as a surprise.
Now, how do we know that to be true? We see it every time we open social media, right? Where women will, bash the man who says that he's, fatherless and he doesn't want to be a stepfather, and then, create these proclamations of what a good man is and how you need to come in and take care of their family and, do all the above for them.
I'm not going 50-50. Been there, done that, never will do it again. Because let me tell you something. You mean to tell me I still got to go to work, make money, pay 50% of the bills, then got to come home, cook dinner, take care of the kids, pick them up, drop them off at school, wash?
You just go ahead and say, sorry to be blunt, but this bitch will be on her knees. All right? These bitches will be on their knees. Where they supposed to be? Let me grab this right here. I'll just grab it from right here, 1 Peter, real quick. And this is a lot of makeup, so who knows how she really looking like? But she's talking with, a fucking scratched up neck, and all of that. Let me grab this, 1 Peter 3:6. It says, 1 Peter 3:6. It says, even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters ye are, as long as you do well. Matter of fact, let me get from up here. 1 Peter 3:5. It says, for after this manner in the old time, which seek out the old past, right? This is what we doing. Isaiah 4:1, we seeking out the old past when it comes to women in the near future, right? So you're going to get in line, or you just won't be in line. It's like it. 1 Peter 3:5. It says, for after this manner in the old time, the holy women also who trusted in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai adorned themselves, being in subjection unto their own husbands. This chick right here that's talking, she in subjection. She trying to give rules and regulations. It says, even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters ye are, as long as ye do well and are not afraid with any amazement. So they gonna get back in the line. This is 1 Peter 3:5. This is how the holy women of old made themselves beautiful. They trusted Yahweh Bashim Yahushai and accepted the authority of their husband. Yeah, this is what makes you beautiful. It says, for instance, Sarah obeyed her husband Abraham and called him master, called him her master. You are her daughters when you do what is right without fear of what your husband might do. Yeah, you're supposed to be in total subjection, not doing what this chick is doing. So like I said, all women, every woman, daughters, all of them, they're all going to be in subjection, to and that's their rightful position, just like these heathen who are slaves. The scriptures say, I've seen slaves upon horses. Wait, I've seen servants upon horses and princes walking. Let me grab that. So Ecclesiastes 10. And 7. This is NLT. It says, I have seen servants riding horseback like princes and princes walking like servants. And obviously, if you look at what's going on, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So the wicked are ruling. So the people that's on the horses and ruling things are the actual servants. And the princes are the ones walking, the slaves, right? So, the brown people around the world. And all these heathen will be put into subjection, right, on the return of our Lord Yahushua. Right now, things are lopsided, and backwards, like our women, which they got a hard, rude awakening, coming soon.
Fold clothes.
So as a black man with black women that do have children.
Tell you something. You mean to tell me I still got to go to work, make money, pay 50% of the bills?
This what they wanted. First of all, they wanted equal rights and all of that shit. They was already home in a rightful position, not doing nothing, just chilling, taking care. They love the children, taking care of the children, and they wanted equal rights. And now they complaining. They want a cake and they want to eat it too, right? They want to pick and choose what they like and what they don't like. Some of these false prophets out here picking and choosing which scriptures in the Bible they want to read and which ones make sense to them.
Then gotta come home, cook dinner, take care of the kids, pick them up, drop them off at school, wash, fold clothes.
Daddy government made you do that because you wanted to work and you wanted to be a woman, and get separated, from the household. You kick the man out for one because you don't want to listen and be in subjection to your husband, right? And so this is what you get basically.
So as a black man with black women that do have children, I would expect you to want to step in for women who have children. The majority of us black women are single mothers. And since we
in the argument, where the fathers at? Sometimes I be listening to this stuff, and I'm just listening. She's arguing to the next person about, trying to step in instead of arguing about we should just stay together, that argument isn't there.
Are and you want to date us potentially, then it would be your role to step in.
Now, like I said before, it is a sense of people suffering for the bad because they're, the reason why these
anyway, so they suffering. Let's see what Kevin Samuels, you got some more to say over here?
So, all of these thought processes that a lot of women had to the forefront, they are literally seeing it play out in real time.
Basically, what women are hoping that single men who had no family, no children, and have been locked out of the sexual marketplace because of this hypergamy will somehow come and save their lives. Not going to happen. It is going to be survival of the fittest.
Kevin Samuels had the conversation so long ago, and it's like, I don't know, but it's like every time you turn around, everything that he said is coming more and more to fruition. It already was, but it keeps going deeper and deeper and deeper. And now people are starting to wake up and realize, wait, now we see the reason for family. Now we see the value in community. Now we see the value in two heads coming together and being better than one. Now we see the value of, two people bringing two incomes into a household to do better than just relying on one. Now we see the importance of that.
Daddy government has closed down, and now these females is the smartest people on earth, right? They're master thinkers. It's fucking crazy. So anyway, Shalom to the whole elect, which consists of men, women, and children. Shalom.